a map that we don't really know a lot about either of these teams on, and already they're looking to fight. I like that cam. It's going to force out all of this control towards Dish. QCK still wanted to fight for it, and he's paid for that with his life. His teammate, though, Khalil, coming in with at least a first. A little bit paranoid on that, and he'll be dropped as well.
A little bit more aggressive from Khalil. Obviously picking up an Astra here. A little bit more interesting from his side of things. We've seen him switch up those roles. Castlo.
What?
Damn. All right. He's here to play today. 4 kills already in the pistol round. And NZR, well, he's got a fair amount to do here in this retake. I would say I'm not a believer.
No, not quite. I mean, Klaus is still up and about, looking for that ace as well. And he's going to catch him off guard on a side angle. Oh, but he won't end up with the ace. Billion teams in the past, it's probably just someone you want to stay away from. And if you are scrimming them, it's going to be an Ascent or something. You know, nothing really out of the ordinary, unlike that. How did Zan get away with 2 to start that out? Furia dominating the early fights and looking at a 4v2 now.
Yeah, they had a heavier stack in towards this A site as well, and now we're looking at the remaining 2. Now this is similar to the last round. As much damage as KRÜ can hope to achieve. Make it so that there's some repurchases, make it so that your rebuy is going to be strong. Every single player, though, is coming in from Dish. I don't think anybody's going to be expecting this. Straight through the nebula they go, looking to try and pick them apart. It gives an opportunity. They all lined up for a second.
Dish, but Furia still have a trap wire there. That's going to be free information. Oh, no, that's going to be free information. And Mazzino has no idea that there's a player. Oh, he does. He suspects it's a double push. They've done it too often, but Furia still get away with the kill, leaving keznit and delzik to do it all in a 2v3.
And they're running out of time. Going to be able to get on to the plants and still getting kills, even with just 1 health. And now it is left all onto keznit to try and clutch this one back. Not on his usual age. He's actually going to pop himself up. His opponent's been launched up into the air, flying through the sky, QZK. But they're still both over on Dish. And he has an inkling there coming from the other direction. He's got to be careful as they look to try and drop down. The sound cue will give it away. Sprays down the first, but the trade comes in thick and fast. It covers you walking through it.
Oh, they're so late.
It just seems like Furia are playing this round incredibly well. But there is a response for the Cosmic Divide. Manzin's actually going to be caught with his gun out. And this is falling apart now. Khalil will at least trade one back. And Zand is in position just to try and deny them. Turning it into a 2v3 scenario, but they're starting to win the duels back. A 2 versus 2. Zan desperately low on HP, just trying to dodge around the aftershock, but they've pincered him into a corner. And what started like such a good setup now comes down just to NZR. Almost clutches it out for keznit there with a response on just 5 HP.
Goes down.
Will the Grabwell pull them back into the trip? That's the real question. They try and push into this. Here comes the rolling thunder, but NagZ, as he tries to jump over, has just been caught. QZK already managing to find a couple of kills. This B-site hold is just looking disgusting, and they're finding openers every single time that KRÜ actually try and push into the site. It's gonna come down to the clutchability of the squad once again. But they have it in bucket loads because it's not pretty. QZK is having a round and a half, and Mitch, there's only 2 remaining.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough hold for KRÜ, and with another player down, walking in through that Cosmic Divide, the only chance for Mazzino, and he'll get nothing as QCK pulls out his 5th kill of the round. This is an incredibly fast pace. A player who previously pushed up on A main, and now he's going to have 2 players close with no idea that he's already here. He catches one off guard, nice and easy, even good for a second as Khalil falls. Sure, the info will be there to play with for Furia, but KRÜ have got the advantage.
Yeah, they've got themselves an afterplant, a deep Viper's pit, so it's very difficult to actually get anywhere near the site without having to bypass Klaus on the way forward. This is going to be a very, very difficult scenario, and you actually see on the extremities as well, there are players ready and waiting. Now, this does give individual duels, and as I say that, NZR actually manages to win one of them, so back into a 3v3 scenario. delzik will trade and keep things in a pretty good position, and they need to try and clear somebody on the wrap back around. The swing from delzik actually grants another, and now it's left all onto Zan as one of them. Especially, I like the fact that they still have Cypher utility in there.
It's nasty.
It's just like, you can't even see half the stuff they're doing. Klaus, though, again, they've managed to take space in towards the spawn. This is something that has now happened a multitude of times. It's starting to become a bit of a worry for Furia. Now, with A main under their belt, and Zan watching in that direction, he actually whiffs. The trade is there again from Khalil, who's trying to catch them on the cross. A good fault line will hold him back and give an afterplant once again. But they're still watching to try and find where Klaus has gone, because with the space he has, he could be anywhere.
Yeah, lots half time, but look at that flank coming through. Looks like Khalil won't be all too much longer. When these two players rush on in, Jet should be able to completely blindside them. Or even Klaus, who's now starting to move up. I don't think they're going to even look towards the side. Time's going to be too low when they run back into wood side as well. Really, player who has to be making this play is QCK. And if he doesn't find an angle pretty soon, those players are just going to be mowed down coming out of main. The Rolling Thunder doesn't even need to be used. They realize that. keznit cleaning it up. And that's when Klaus chooses his time to strike, although he won't get anything done.
Normally, KRÜ has a lot more control from this. And you can see they're actually going to start fighting for it in the form of NagZ, because they have managed to take control of mid in a lot of these scenarios, which made retakes really awkward. Zan, though, is just going to go up above. He may be vulnerable, but he's still fighting. Has Khalil alongside him and just lands the headshot. It's left all onto NagZ. They expect him to be here, and Zan is going to land every single night.
To the defense, if Furia are as prepared over on the attack, which I'd imagine they will be, I get a little bit worried.
Managed to isolate both of those duels.
Yeah.
That is not a pretty picture. Again, there's going to be this control taken, but it's expected now. And that's the thing. There was a couple of rounds for KRÜ where they got that spawn control and they were able to win rounds off the back of it. Well, it hasn't happened in the last couple. keznit, though, he's just popping off! What on earth is that? 3 headshots in a matter of seconds. He turns this round on its head, making this a possible scenario. A 2 versus 2, the flash placed into both players' faces. The peek through for Delzik, but he doesn't expect Zan into the 1v1. The stun has landed perfectly onto him. keznit has just used it to escape. Has no idea where he is, and keznit comes out with the quad. Make their way forward. No real information garnered just yet, although I think they might have spotted out the cam as they look to try and dash through, already tagged up at least a little bit. They do look to try and push in towards this site. It's become a little bit awkward for them. Still plenty of time to try and make their move here, but they've been stuck behind the snakebite. And this means that the majority of the team can rotate over, especially with a flank already coming through.
I think the most important is keznit is now here. He's got an aftershock to play with. His fault line should be up pretty soon. As they lose the first player here, KRÜ fighting their way in towards this side. Lots of players on low HP. NagZ just 23 health. Oh, this is tough. They know where he's coming from as well. No opportunity to deny that plant. He's going to have to make his way through sewers here and try to catch them off on a different angle. But Tom, look at the HP of his opponents. If they play this one together, they might be able to trade it out, but they've got to be so careful not to be caught off guard.
Yeah, the thing is now, though, the spike in their favor, they don't even really need to take any risks. It's up to NagZ to try and find what is a very awkward position, and it may have just got that little bit worse, having to take the extra time to get rid of the pin. And well, they're actually running straight towards him. QCK, what's just happened there? A complete misread of the scenario. Maybe looking to try and get this one to half. Just going to have to try and hit the instant headshot, and it's not going to be happening. Mazin ends up saving the day, but yeah, I can only assume he's trying his best to sell a fake here, and it has not worked. Delzik has just popped the heads of 2 players as they look to walk past, and he is managing to wrap his way back around, but I'm unsure what the plan is at this point.
I mean, it's really, really tough. They're going to kind of run headfirst into a brick wall and see if they can at least make a dent.
I think the chances seem fairly slim at least. Cage is being popped just to give that extra bit of space. Mazzino with a wonderful headshot onto his counterpart without the O. Now without a head.
1 enemy remaining.
Obviously, Khalil didn't want to run through that cage, but now he's going to be caught with 14 seconds left, and
he's got to run through bullets.
He's got to just run into them and die pretty much. See if he can take a few with him, but he will not. And KRÜ bounce back in this buy round. 100% certain with the second player committed towards holding dish that this is going to be a B hit. Those players are on edge and ready to pounce the second the Furies start to make their way forward. And it's going to be, again, that Viper's pick coming through. This can open up the opportunity, as we discussed before, to make it in towards the spawn. But they've already eliminated Mazzino. Now, there actually might be an opportunity for Fury to get to this site.
Unfortunately, though, they've lost a player in return, and the time really is starting to tick away. 10 seconds for them to try and get something done, but they're just beginning to land every single shot, even looking for a kill onto a teammate. It is this man, though, remaining. keznit in a 1 versus 2. He's been killing anyone that's put into his path so far. They pick him together. 11 HP, the difference there.
He's just not finding any opportunities just yet.
Sand is already deep within the site. They've used that Rolling Thunder to try and take some space, but again, we're looking at these ciphers. They've just been incredible throughout this map. Both players, obviously in the first half, we saw the same from QZK. The thing is though, they've taken control elsewhere. QZK mentioned his name, he only gets himself one, and now we have to counter Rolling Thunder. The spike though is still not made it in, and it doesn't even seem to matter that the stun came in onto Khalil, because he's just landing the shots anyway. Left into a 2 versus 2, make that just one, as the spike looks to be planted, but his teammate's so far away, he can't actually risk this. If he died, there would just be the diffuser. It's better to just almost try and bait that clock a little bit longer. The NZR is walking as slow as humanly possible. The dash though, pushes him in!
So
oh, that stun is beautiful!
Furia want to just blitz in towards this site. You still have Klaus down below with the Sheriff we saw earlier on. They haven't cleared him out, so he's going to be good for 2. The drop down from Zan deals with him eventually, but that's quite a lot of damage done for just a pistol, and the knives coming out for KRÜ to give them the advantage.
This has got very, very scary. You've got Zan and Khalil in this afterplan. Now the weaponry is still a little bit weaker, and sure, you might have the knives available, but so low on HP, the flash is decent, but he completely misses. It's an issue for sure. The shot from Delzic's nice though, and it's left all onto Khalil. The youngster trying to clutch this one out, but he can't quite land the shot. It's clutch keznit.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But there's some people out there going,
That's not going to go in a highlight package, you know?
Exactly.
It's, oh, look at this fault line. It's incredible. No one cares about that. We just want to see the headshots, and I think we're about to see a couple. NagZ again going to be forced out of position, but look who is hiding behind this box. keznit hasn't been spotted. They know that the jet fell back. This is where he has an opportunity to strike and completely catch them off guard. He's good for the first, blindsided, but still takes down Khalil. A 3 versus 4 on the back of it, but Furia needs to hurry up, and they've still got NagZ to deal with.
Yeah, he's been dodging and weaving all of this time, just trying to avoid getting killed early, and finds the perfect spot to grab a couple of kills. Now NZR, 15 seconds. There's no chance that he manages to bring this back, and NagZ ends it with a triple. And available for Mazin if he wants to try and make things a little bit more awkward. This is a Viper's Pit that's a slightly more common one. It allows you to drop down without too many issues. It's expected though, however, it's clean. And Zand is just going to double up as well, leaving Mazzino left. He's got a neural theft, but I don't think it's going to win him the round.
I do like the idea from Furia. It still is very risky having Mazin go like that, but the fact is he didn't peek into any angle that NagZ would realistically be on until the Viper's Pit was already down on the site and players were pushing in. In reality, that translates to him either dying when he comes around the corner, or the most likely, and what happened, NagZ is looking at the site. He's trying to deal with those players, because at this point he thinks, hey, no one's coming here. No one's starting to push up behind me. And even if he does die, his teammates have already made it to site, should be able to trade up against that operator. It was a risk, but it's something that paid off massively for them, as they'll clock up an 11th round, and of course, well, assuming Mazzino doesn't somehow defuse that spike, which I don't think he's going for. Instead, he wants to make this costly. One task, man. Until he hears his name, like, they could be screaming, rotate, rotate, BB. He just needs to hear NagZ, and then he's on his way. This is going to be tough for Delzic. Oh, he's in a lot of... how is he still alive? He'll be taken down by Mazin eventually, but the trade is instantaneous from keznit, who just leaves the site, content to play the retake that they want. Once that Cosmic Divide has gone down, and they're going to even waste a little bit more time, try to... Oh no. Oh, NagZ, he's been waiting here all round, and now he won't get any opportunity to punish his opponent. It was just zipped away.
Yeah, that afterplant now becomes a little bit stronger as well, because they're going to have 2 players around A main. Chance to just spam this through. Leo waiting within the site, and NagZ just hoping for a pot shot, hoping he can bait someone out, but Khalil has some smokes of his own. I don't know if they'll expect him to just be sat on the spike as well. Like, it's a bit of an odd position, but his teammates have such a solid crossfire that could make things a little bit difficult. However, keznit again has already managed to find one. He needs to do work with a classic, and he will hit himself a ding, but it's QZK
closer to their goal.
Oh, maybe not for long. Zand, he's got the smell of his opponents, looking to try and hunt them down. It's a Blade Storm on Blade Storm action. He still hasn't cleared out the bottom of the site. I don't know if he realizes this.
Yeah, he does.
realize, though, it's still going to be very difficult. His teammates peeking a little bit wide. This has become incredibly awkward. A trade back and forth. Zan runs out of the knives, but it doesn't matter because Khalil's decided to pop off the youngster, looking to try and help them close this. It's left all on to NagZ. 1 versus 2. He gets the individual duel, but he can't quite fall away. They may have pocket-picked this map into Furia, but the Brazilians were ready.
With their strats, they're going to be hitting up A strong.
Well, look, there's 2 frenzies on the back of Zand and Madsen. That tells you one thing. They want to get in the faces of these defenders and make things interesting. The Sage Wall is already down towards tree. Zand, look at the aggression. Just popping shots through that Astra smoke. That should buy some time for the spike to go down.
Damn, that's a fast plan, Dash. Look at this. They want in, they want out, and they want this round 1 in their pocket, because I tell you what, if you want to bring the Sage and you want to be able to bring the frenzies, you got to get up in their faces. And speaking of, that'll be a deletion of multiple of the KRÜ players, as the frenzy will pop and the Sheriff will not.
What a positioning from Zand. Look at him. He's not going to stop. He's going for more. He's going to flank through the back, up into the tower, through the glass.
They're playing back on A and B side. They're playing inside of Garden. It's kind of forced out. Oh my God, Zan's already on them. Sky, his pace in the round is unbelievable. And Madsen will even take down Delzik. Res available, rifles upgraded. This is looking like a, oh my God, they can't even deny the res.
Oh, it's gone beautifully, hasn't it? Almost as expected, you could say. Now it's down to Klaus and keznit to try and bring this one back. Klaus is going to find one, dismiss, get back out of the corner, and bring this one back into contention. It's still a pretty awkward fight to take. The fact is, if there's no peek coming out from the remaining players, there's absolutely no hope. And Zand is going to get himself a triple. From a youngster, I expect the A.
I really like the ideas. Oh, never mind. We don't get time for that. NagZ's already getting aggressive. He's trying to get out of here now. Cloudburst put down, but in comes Zand. Not going to check the corner. They don't believe he's still there. Blindly firing away in the corner. NagZ's taken down eventually. Just too much utility coming his way. But the fact that Mazzino falls as well, that's a disaster. Have they spotted keznit in the corner? It doesn't matter either way. The smokes come up. The execute's not going to happen. But in a 5v3, Furia aren't going to be too upset about their pace being interrupted.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because considering this has been almost an A push every single round, KRÜ gamble that they're going to push into B, and they still...
And yeah, with the smoke up, I mean, I guess he was just...
What? Did he use where they shot the leer from? If he did, he is a genius. Like an actual genius. Or he's just incredibly lucky. Either way, we end up in a 3v3, and I don't think they care which one it is.
God, that was actually insane. Now Delzik's able to pick up Zand. Coming around the corner, he'll get another! And it's all on to QCK. A 1v3. Oh, what?
Oh. If he'd got to.
And hey, it worked. We're looking at an AX act that's going to come in quite quickly. Look who's tucked in the left corner, though. Completely unexpected. Great Hunter's Fury to find the first Delzik being returned on. He's dancing around and trying desperately to survive as Furia fight for the site. Only the 1 kill to come their way. A res will be deployed.
They've got to break their own wall.
They've got to rush in.
I almost wonder if they just saved now.
There's a short play. No, they're not saving at all. The short players are rushing it. Only going to find the one here. Mazzino well able to hold on to that control. A 4K out of the Sova. Push in with 25 seconds left.
We've also seen the Cosmic Divide. They're going to have to try and run through it. keznit popping the Empress, giving him a chance to just frag out. Now they are actually going to use it to try and get the plant down themselves. And NCR has managed to push through. The problem, however, is they are somewhat surrounded. Zand gets one before he dies, but the plant still hasn't gone down. They have to do it here and now, and even just the time delay has worked out for the side of KRÜ. You can understand the attempt for Furia, but it really hasn't worked out. Seen a shot through the smoke and then running away with his rifle.
30 seconds left.
There is very little to none information currently there, and Delzik, that timing was spot on. He's going to find, okay, that wasn't, but I guess at this point it really doesn't matter. 4 versus 2, he has the spike, he's going to run into that operator. Round's already over. It's just how much, well, I guess stat padding NZR can do. Tension in a lot of the early rounds, and already we're seeing the isolation of some of those players. Just looking to come through and to get that door closed. But they're going to have to watch it.
Yeah, with that smoke down, obviously these players can just come barreling on through.
I think they broke the door. I think yeah, they did. Yeah. That's what it was. They broke the door after closing it. And so then that's why they're having to actually keep close on this position, because they can't actually close it. It may not actually matter. It may end up helping Delzik to find kills. Who said the right click of the classic is dead? That man's finding headshots left and right.
It's like KRÜ are just speed running Ascent.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised in the veto that we didn't see them actually pick up Breeze just because of how, well, they beat Sentinels on that map. So I was expecting that to be the choice. They went for Ascent. I was hopeful that we would see something of the same as the last. Instead, it has just been domination. Nice little crossfire, though. Timmy even going to be pulled out. Not that it really matters. While considering this is a bonus round, this is still looking incredibly clean. And, well, they're about to break that 10-round streak.
Yeah, I mean, not too impressive doing it up against the bonus. If they lost to the bonus, then we would be basically just looking at the next map. So this was a requisite for them.
These aggressive faces they've had. Now the time, Mitch, is ticking all the way down. They're looking to try and execute through mid and move in towards this B site. But already they have lost that opening duel. Still though, with only 2 players to defend it and the others very far away, they need to have a solid hold. And you know what? It is damn solid. Only 1 player being dropped is Zand, and, well, NagZ, he'd have to have the best late round of anyone ever and probably be cheating to kill some people through some walls.
Defaulting for KRÜ here is something I kind of want to see. I think they're going super aggressive on a lot of these hits.
On the other side of things, I think this is what KRÜ has done so well so far, is they have just not panicked. The second they get any of these openers, the swing should be coming, and that's just all too easy. They almost expect this aggression at this point, and Furia just falling into their own trap. NZR, this looks like a desperation ult, and he comes close, but it's not achieved anything.
I think that was called off the back of Mazino being so low to try and remove that Hunter's Fury from the round and get a pick. It ends up damaging NagZ. It nearly takes Mazino down. He'll survive, and with the trades coming in favor of KRÜ, they've got a 4 versus 2 as they plant that spike on A.
Not quite on spot. Moving around the generator. This is aggressive from NZR. My teammate, Operator, not really sure there was anything he could really do here. I'm also intrigued to know the financial position placed on instead, so I guess that's why.
That's NagZ. Blade Storm dashing, and again, this guy is so aggressive on the jet in the early round, and it's finding dividends almost every single time. It's seriously impressive the amount that NagZ is able to do. As they now cross over towards the site, they're being spammed at by that operator, but it will find nothing. Furia again face a difficult retake.
Yeah, they do, however, have a lockdown. So they're going to try and just force these players out of position. In fact, both teams have decided to do exactly the same thing. Just waiting the other out. We'll see if anybody actually gets trapped, but going to be the space looking to be taken.
Oh my God!
5 players have been detained across both teams? What is that?
I have literally never seen this before. The double lockdown, double, triple detain. As Zand is just cleaning up, covering that defuse, and they'll get away with it. One of the more ludicrous rounds we've seen at Champions. K is going to be the big thing. Can they actually manage to find this duel as they come around the corner, at least the trade? Klaus already down. It's time to move through short. One has already been spotted. The smoke goes up. QCK falls back. Going to concede the control. Allow them to move towards this site. But they'll punish NagZ, who got a little too greedy. Oh my God.
What?
They've got the site, they've got upgrades, and now all of a sudden a round that started out in spectacular fashion for Furia is very much up for contention again.
There's a red, but it's kind of in spots where you can't really do anything about it. So it almost becomes irrelevant until you manage to clear out these players on the site, and at that point, well, you don't really need the res anymore. The angles also been playing close, and although there's an operator picked up for Delzik, it's not really going to be too valuable here. He's just going to stick to his pistol, and they are trading things out effectively. This weak purchase looks so rough to begin with. It's now left on to just NZR. He has to try and make the play through. He jumps over the top to find himself one, going back in, but Delzik with this pistol will confirm. He's taking it. Does look like they're going to come walking straight into the judge. The first kill comes for free, but there should almost definitely be a trade. No, he hits the shot anyway. NagZ with 2 back-to-back, looking to put this one in the grave. 30 seconds left now for the defenders to try and do anything. The plant coming through on the A side, and well, this might not be pretty, but even the time being bought is worthwhile. This is going to be a rough one, and Mazino, that's just filth.
Yeah.
That's the timing to get that kill.
He knew they wanted the weapon, right? That's a good little lurk out towards the bottom of mid. NZR is dead, and it looks like Khalil might be done for here. He'll find the first, but still 3 more to go. That was a damn good attempt, but in the end, KRÜ will take it, and we will go all the way to map 3.
Paper doesn't seem to matter to the Brazilian killers.
No, it absolutely does not. You know what, though? KRÜ are going to open this one up, already taking down QCK, and a lot of damage done to Zand and NZR, who are left to fall back. They're going to look for a B take on this, all the utility being expended. But look, Klaus is already in the back site, ready to swing in and help the rest of his team in these duels. Barely even needed. Look at that collateral kill with a classic into a third to close out round number 1. It does indeed. The push coming down through middle ain't going to see all too much. delzic's shut down as well, and Tom, well, that round was set up to be decent, and in fact, it ends up with very little to show.
It was a bloodbath, just not in the way that they wanted. Because that's the thing, a multitude of players, instantly the rotation begins to be pulled, but there is some utility looking to try and delay them back into the side. The problem, though, is NagZ still there, and now the cavalry arrives. Mazzino looking to peek around, keznit on sight, Mazin doing at least some decent damage along the way, hoping to try and make this one a little bit more costly. Baiting them in, but it doesn't matter. NagZ's hitting everything. He was the initial fight and the man at the end to close it out. Incredible so far. One of these teams are looking to try and battle it out after heading into this lower bracket. Great entries, though. Mazin combining with Zan. They've got to get out of the lockdown, but realistically, it's not going to play the biggest of parts. Imagine Klaus is fighting back into the side, trying to do it all on his own. Man wanted to put the world on his back. Maybe hoping to buy a little bit more time for NagZ, but they now expect this. Like, there's only so much this man can do, and the amount of space that's already been taken. Look at the spikers as well. This is almost like, I don't want to say a solo mission because there's technically 2 players, but Zan just walking in. They're also baited. Look at the rotation. This is all a fake. They're throwing a fake in and around, which is basically an eco. They're going to tag up quick, which will make them think there's still players here. Now, they haven't fallen completely, though, because there is this sniper looking to try and hold it down, but it will be an afterplant. There's not much to none other than NagZ hitting a nice timing. He gets away with a burst, goes back for a little more. A double kill off the back of the only rifle they have. Klaus has managed to retrieve another one. A nice idea for Furia, but it started to fall apart. Still plenty of time to play with, but it's all on NagZ to try and hold it back, and Klaus is going to close it with a triple. The idea, as said, good one.
Over by the KRÜ side. It will be the A side that they go towards. keznit has been huge so far. That cloudburst, though, manages to keep Zand alive. He doesn't get a kill, but he damn well contributes to it. So does Mazzino, though. A fast double before he's taken down. And of course, it's Zand to get that done.
He's just walked in. He's only using the pistol, and the rifle is there. He's managed to retrieve it. This is going to be a nasty surprise if they peek in. Massive just about gets the trade. They've almost given them the space to rotate. The lockdown, though, is almost a fake out. They're going to start running it towards that seaside, looking for the opener, but they don't expect delzik in the corner. Still, though, he only gets one. But his teammate has rotated in, even put in a counter lockdown. They need to try and destroy this, and it's being defended by keznit, just waiting for them to back out of the site, and now they have to try and fight back in. He takes a lot of damage on that jiggle peek. Forces him back, at least for the moment, looking for a repeat. It may not be worth the risk. There's still enough time that they can go for this, but keznit lands the shot. The heal is his, and with the spike on the ground, is left just onto one. Mazin will go down.
Been impressive so far over on that KRÜ side, but now they're in a lot of trouble. delzik is on the back side. He's got a teammate of Klaus rotating in to help him. But his teammate only has the Spectre to play with. Not going to be the most helpful in a lot of these fights. Rotates sleeve, keznit falling. Shock dart to back side. Here's where Klaus decides to pounce. He gets the first. delzik still dealt with eventually. And so it's a 3v2. 10 seconds left. Mazzino with a huge pick. Oh my god! There's only 8 seconds for this spike to be planted, and NagZ's walked in with the operator, closing out the round and putting KRÜ somehow up to 6. Question is, do they check delzik right up close? They've blinded him. They know that he's around here.
That was a deep flash. They might think he's a little bit further back. It does seem like QZK is trying to check these closer angles. He's heard the reload and almost get caught jumping up. NagZ though just still holding that ground. They'll win the duel eventually. Now they've actually decided to bypass him. Just go straight back through, but they do not expect Klaus to just be waiting here. A second player on the peak is keznit, whose Empress may have dissipated, but he has not. And it's left all onto NagZ, trying to hold on 1v3. It's going to be a 7-5 scoreline.
Take as well from Furia because they expect it to be that mid play. They're not even going to be on the side of A. So as KRÜ walk on in, it is a free plant. They'll use up a little bit of utility on the way through, but without having to take any fights, still have their shock dart afterwards. The heals up on keznit. See how that plays out now as the retake will be mounted by Furia. They're still a little bit away from it though, because they've got a couple players who need to rotate into position.
KZK is about to... Well, he has to pull out a god flash here. There needs to be something that blinds half of the team, because getting back into this site looks like an impossibility, and he's already dead. That was the one piece of utility they had getting back in, other than just jet dashing through. And although the trades are coming thick and fast, they need to pick up the pace a little bit. Push through from Klaus, NagZ with a triple, and it is KRÜ to take themselves a larger lead. That's...
Yeah, I think we both did.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good start. I don't know what was said. I don't know what words were uttered by the coach of Furia, but if it was peek mid and kill 2 people, it's a brilliant plan. I'm not sure it's one they'll be able to repeat too often, and they've got to be careful because Mazino has taken quite a lot of control. A battle of the spam, which results in barely any damage at all.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is a strong round for Furia. They're getting away with this one almost flawlessly. A fight will be put up by Klaus and Manus. He's no stranger to picking up 3 kills here or there, but he's going to need to find 4 if he wants to defeat this Furia side that, as you said, Tom, came in with pistols and walk out with rifles.
I want to know what Carlisle said. Can we get that footage?
I reckon good chance it was in Portuguese, so I'm not sure
there's plenty of people here who can speak Portuguese. Get Leah to
now you're asking someone to translate it as well.
Leah can do it, you know?
Oh, wow. Fly just went right past my face.
Even the fly is telling you to be quiet.
That freaked me out.
I want to know what he said. It must have been inspirational. It was probably life-changing. Like, look how much of a difference it's made to this round. They just went in with pistols and a single rifle and just absolutely owned. Now, there is actually a chance here for Klaus. He's into a 1 versus 3 scenario. He's baited out the plant. And unfortunately...
Oh,
it's a bait. It is a big bait. Look, they already start rotating. NCR, he's making a move. He's going to be caught in the open, but he hits both shots. The thing is, they played him perfectly. He was in the open, but if he can keep hitting shots like that, it doesn't matter at all.
That's incredible. I mean, sometimes you can set up the round perfectly. You can do everything right. 13 seconds left. That Hunter's Fury is looking for them, trying to stop the plant from coming through. It's going to find the tag, but they can't deny it fully. Spike has been planted. Damage done to NagZ at least. It's not the toughest of retakes for Furia, really. A lot of the dangers are gone, and they've already managed to deal with Klaus.
NagZ though is still standing. They brought this back into contention, down to 1 versus 2. NagZ gets the timing on the peak, into just 1. QCK looking to try and face off against him, and he will keep them alive again.
You've lost some of those rounds. Sometimes it's just a ride-off, and it's out of your control. This time,
being smart.
Looking to take things into their own hands. NagZ's already moving towards the site, but he'll be shut down by Zan. A nice opening for the Furia side. The push hasn't ended just yet. KRÜ are still looking to come into this site, and oh no, a missed shot off backside. What?
What's going on? Now he's still alive.
He
actually gets another with the no-scope. I don't know how Zand lived that long, but he's made this one workable. Mazin, though, getting tagged up by the drone, is forced back, and he still gets hit by Mazino. He's just going to hold that angle, not give him an opportunity, and keznit will close out the round.
That flash on mid hasn't seen anything. The drone coming on through hasn't destroyed it, got rid of the Lear as well, and the recon. That's great work from Mazin, who even ends up with a kill from this situation. If they push in, there's 2 players to fight them. That is ultimate denial. 3, in fact. That's ultimate denial of garage control.
The thing is, though, they've got to be careful elsewhere on the map. That heavy garage presence has left some openings.
30 seconds left.
One of them is towards that seaside. Now, it does look like they're going for a retake, and a lot of that comes down to the fact that they do have a lockdown available for them. So if they can hold on to garage, as you can see, it now becomes pretty awkward. Now, by the looks of it, KRÜ are just going to stick the plant, get themselves into an after plant position and just fall back, or at least you think they'd fall back. One player still holds.
keznit was going to be in trouble there. I don't think he would have gotten to the lockdown in time on the side. Oh no, he's out of ammo. Zand down to the classic, and his teammates will save the day. The spray away from Klaus isn't enough, and Furia save themselves. Previous round, why not?
Yeah, this time they don't have a lockdown though. In fact, they don't have as much at all. In fact, there's one on the other side looking to try and just hold them back for extra time. This is a round where there's investment here for KRÜ just to try and utilize those ultimates. keznit, he gets the timing perfect on that peak. Watching the player destroy the lockdown, he goes for the kill instead. Still though, the weaponry advantage is with the side of Furia. It's just the personnel. They need to start clearing out these players. 3 currently in the cubby, and QCK! See you later, KRÜ. This is another round for Furia.
That's unbelievable.
They're going to try and slow things down at least a little. Garage control, again, challenge for destroying some of that early utility once more, but delsic's actually fighting this. Considering he's the man that has a lot of the stars, it's surprising, and you know what? He's only going to get a trade.
Oh no, that recon is so dangerous. The wall is made of paper, and keznit almost ends up falling. Shock dart for backside. Zeno is there, they
I
blind.
don't think there's any way, but the problem is, even if he gets a kill and gets traded, he's going to put the spike in the worst possible spot. And actually, NCR is still watching for this. It doesn't matter, he'll get the kill, and that's all that was really wanted by that side of things.
Zand pushing up is going to be caught by this turret. He's got to destroy that, make him a little bit worried about that flank play. He's going to dedicate some of their resources elsewhere, but for KRÜ, Mazzino doesn't quite realize there's a second player there. It's a little bit awkward, but look at who's walking through the doors as we speak. He's being spotted, the spray is good, and he'll take him down as well, leaving Zand to clutch this with an operator. And well, Tom, his chances aren't looking too good.
Oh my goodness, this round was won by Klaus and Klaus alone. I was going to say they still have a decent buy here, but I'm looking at Khalil just having a classic.
Yeah. Didn't notice that before. Not not sure what's going on there. Not shock dart.
keznit was so low in an aggressive position. The shock dart on the other side actually does a lot of damage onto Zand. They're going to have the information of where these players are. The fact is though, that opener could be everything, especially if they manage to retrieve the weapon. Now they haven't actually been able to rotate over just yet, and it seems like Khalil is almost just relying on this lockdown to try and delay them out of B if that's the direction they go. And I will say that is where we currently have a push coming forward from the side of KRÜ.
30 seconds left.
Look in through garage already. This is a little bit dangerous. Klaus has been so good at sneaking up behind them, finding the gaps in that defense. On the backside, NagZ about to be challenged by a classic wielding player. You won't expect that, and well, he won't be able to take him down. 15 seconds left. In through he goes, but Khalil takes him down. That's going to be the operator retrieve, trying to harass in the back lines. Klaus will not be able to do all too much, and that defender killjoy ult comes into effect. The plant has been secured, though, over towards this C site. Of course, the cosmic divide blocking the sound, allowing them to get in there, but it's still a 2 versus 3, and quite a late flank by Mazzino, but the timing actually might be perfect. There is absolutely no way that they expect him to be here. He's got them all lined up. This is perfect. Mazzino takes the first. A little bit of trigger discipline maybe would have helped out there. Now this is in a little bit of danger.
Yeah, they still have the pull though ready to try and get anybody off the spike. So the fact is it's going to buy a lot of extra time. This duel is absolutely everything. Zand is going to win it, and now it comes all onto Mazzino, but he has dropped the man who was on the spike. There is nothing that can be done here. KRÜ know already that they've won it. delsik was already celebrating before the spike even went off. KRÜ, they do it again. They are the team that knocks out every Brazilian the second it happens, and you can see the celebrations from them as they will go through to fight the Sentinels.
What an incredible performance and turnaround from this team. Looking better than they ever have, but doing the same thing, knocking out Brazilians. That's what KRÜ is all about. Incredible series from them here today. And I have to say, I don't think Sentinels are a weak team by any means, but I think they should be careful.